You know, and I know, and they know, cause we know, we go all in, you know, and I know, and they know, cause we know, we go all in.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the newest edition of What You've Been Missing. It's your boy K Dizzle DC. And to my left, right, I don't just which depends on which way you're looking in the mirror. It's my boy Hef Streams. What up, Hef?
What's up, K Dizzle? How you doing, bro?
Look, man, we are doing the All Dressed Up podcast, episode 32. We
32. That's my
started
favorite
getting
number, man. What's the odds of that?
32.
32.
Who's number's 32? I don't know who number's 32.
Magic Johnson. What you
Magic
mean his
Johnson's
number's
32.
32? That's why it was my favorite number, because I played like Magic. I'm a playmaker on the court.
For those in the building, this man said he played like Magic Johnson. I hope it's just on the court, not off the
I
court.
didn't say
Hey,
Magic
Ma.
Johnson. I said Magic. I was talking about Magic Jordan, the guy down the street.
The guy, Magic Jordan, right? What up, man? Look, I'm excited. I love it. I think we had a great week, even though my Eagles lost today, and I fell asleep and said, "GG, what's going on?" We're gonna still talk a little about that Apex ghosting you be doing to me, but let's.
What happened? What happened to Apex?
Oh man, we're not gonna talk about it. She's a ghost. Really, yeah, really magic. Really magic.
Marcel, you
Shout out
don't
to
want
the
none of
man.
this. What up, Big P? You
You
don't
are
want
one
none
of
of
the
this
few dudes.
action.
You one of the few older dudes that said my game was like Magic Johnson's.
Who, me?
I rarely hear that. Rarely hear that.
I'm telling you, man, if you play ball with me, you've seen it before. You know how I distribute the basketball out there on the court.
I
Look,
see
let's
you.
not make
before.
this about me. What up, Melinda?
not-
How you doing?
We're not gonna make this about you. What's going on? All right, man. Look.
Episode 32, man.
What we getting into tonight?
We'll be talking about a few things. We're gonna hopefully we get some chat interaction, man. That's the beauty about our show. We're live, right?
Yes, indeed.
So
Live
if you
direct.
forgot, we are live, and there's a number to text in 301-857-1757 because you guys keep the show entertaining. We like to have some fun conversations, and definitely join us tonight. But what up? What up?
Well, Joe's in the building. Everybody and their mama's in the building. I don't know what's going on tonight. It's probably because we'll talk about that. GG goes to me in Apex. But let's get rolling, man. Let's talk about these sports real quick, man.
Let's talk about it, man. I'm gonna let you go first with sports.
I can't go first because
Well,
I was
I'll
passed
take
out.
it with sports.
Huh? Go ahead.
I said I'll take it with sports. So here we go, right? What up? What up? So with the NFL, it's kind of going the way I thought it would go. Honestly, I thought the Washington football team might squeeze some wins out. They're not impressing me either way. They've squeezed two
They
wins out there.
struggled against Atlanta though.
Hey, and that's why I'm not impressed, bro. Like, how can I be happy about that win? But they say in the NFL, a win is a win, right?
A win is a win.
They still
It's a
counting that
win.
W column. But I'm not putting the money on the Washington football team to take us home this year, guys. I'm sorry. Now, on the other hand, the Dallas Cowboys, they came out with a pretty impressive victory on an undefeated Carolina Panther team. I didn't really think the Carolina Panthers were, that undefeated juggernaut. I thought they had a kind of a soft schedule, so they got their first test with the Cowboys, and the Cowboys edged them out in a high-scoring affair. But what's up with your Eagles? I know you were sleeping, but you woke up, you tuned in.
I woke up to 42-30. I know they lost to a good good Chiefs team. I know that the one person to admit the Cowboys are a really good football team. They did go against the Panthers and lost without Christian McCaffrey, but they still are a good team, regardless of the fact they played up Tampa Bay. They played everybody really good. So we got to give big ups to where it is. Our team, we got a tough schedule. It is what it is. I think we play strong until we start getting our ass whooped, and that was it. That was it. It wasn't a whole bunch of clips for me to catch. So it's what it is. What up, D? What up, D?
All right, so look, so as we hang out tonight, right? I know there's a special game on television right now. If you're watching it in the background, I'm gonna take. All right, So
Wait
before
a
I
minute.
continue,
Wait a
before I
minute.
continue, I was in my feelings earlier, right? And I see Rod coming directly at me in the chat, and I appreciate you putting me on the spot because I waited 3 hours to get into a restaurant down in Miami for Chase Young to go in before me. This guy's out on the field in the middle of the circle like he's Ray Lewis. I ain't seen him get a sack in like 3 games. So all I'm saying is, look, I appreciate the vocal leadership, right? I really know he's a superior athlete, but I think he's got to make some plays. It's coming down to now your defense that you're leading out there on the field is giving up 30 points to the Atlanta Falcons. That's a problem.
Look, he knew what he was getting into signing with the Washington Redskins. I mean, he know the whole team. He from here. He already know the love and hate situation. So he figured he can go in and make a difference. And you got to understand it's bigger than that. It's just like the Wizards situation. The entire organization has to be
Oh,
reworked.
please,
It's what it is. And
please don't bring those guys up yet. The
we'll
season is
just leave.
over.
Look, leave that at that. Leave that at that. NFL's good this year. NFL's
I
good
got
this
some nerve saying don't bring them up, and I got a Wizards hat on.
year. You got
But that's because my eye is like halfway shut because I had a contact lens issue. So I forgot I was wearing my Wizards hat. But look, so before we move on from sports, right? Besides that, really nothing's too big going on in sports besides who's fighting next week? Deontay Wilder and Fury. I think they're coming up pretty soon.
Are they fighting again?
Yeah, they're fighting again. They're fighting for a third time. I'm hoping that Wilder definitely shows up and doesn't get beat up like he did the last fight. But we'll talk about that later. But I want to give a shout out to a really good interview that I saw held on the Bleacher Report and on YouTube by young Taylor Rooks, young woman. She's one of the top news sports reporters out in the game. She had the opportunity to interview AI and Al Harrington, and they were talking about the destigmatization of marijuana usage and the players in the NBA. Because if we all
Nice.
know about AI's career, he was kind of known to be a bad boy and off the court. And even still,
Right.
like being a bad boy because he smoked weed might not be as accurate as you think. Nowadays, a lot of people who do smoke weed and play sports, they use that as a way to cope with their anxiety. A lot of those sports put a lot of pressure on these guys. So, medicinally, they found usage for marijuana to actually, help them out. So the interview was interesting because me and you were talking before the show started how difficult it is for, black people to really break into this industry
hmm
because it seems like everybody's always a step ahead.
Look, man, they will call you a rebel now, and later on they will call you a pioneer. That's just how it works. That's just how it works. AI was one of those people that got that stigmatism, as well as plenty others. Black people have always been getting that crazy label. We've always been disproportionately locked up and got longer sentences for marijuana usage or just marijuana possession.
Yeah.
Now that the tables have turned and we want to legalize it, and we get back to the point where we found out in the 1800s that it was great for medicinal use. We want to, let me say they want to legalize it. The game has changed, and it still hasn't changed for us. It's still harder for us to break into those markets and do those type of things and getting to those industries. But
That's
I'm
why I like
proud
the
of my people.
interview. That's why I like, not to cut you off, but that's why I like the interview so much because Al Harrington was talking about how he is heading the dispensary. I believe it's called Viola, and I could be
Mhm.
wrong, but if I'm misquoting it, forgive me. But the fact that he got together with AI and they created a marijuana strain based off of like a champagne flavor, and they're gonna market it, calling it the I think the AI strand, and I think that's gonna be incredible, and that's
Hey,
definitely
hey,
gonna bang. So shout out to those guys, and looking forward to seeing where that can go.
shout out to the entrepreneurship in the marijuana industry. It's big, it's huge. Follow my own girl Estro Hayes, Sarita Wright, and she's been in that industry for a long time, advocating for African Americans to get in and get involved and giving out information. That's at Sarita Wright, SIRITARWRIGHT. I'll type it in the
That's
chat.
what's up.
But yeah, good peoples, and give you all the information that you need to know.
So
But
with that being said, why don't you go into my lovely cousin who dropped a nice clever video
your
before
lovely
we get too
cousin that
deep.
dropped a nice video. I was surprised on this one, bro. Put me
So
on this.
y'all know we always promote black business, and we've talked about Artistry by Maya before. but she came out with some beautiful promotion because I was watching the show on Netflix, right? And it personally was catching my attention. So before we play the video, and I'm gonna talk about the show called Squid Game. Here's an interesting media or marketing promotional idea that Maya ran for her company, which is a wonderful brow studio that's right over, and I think it's like Temple Hills, considered the Clinton area. And she has a really nice studio. But go ahead and check this video out. Man, I
you
love it.
guys, you guys are getting super smart with your stuff there. Artist by Maya at Instagram, LLC, beauty, cosmetic, personal care, brow specialist, brows. Get y'all
Hmm.
brows together, people. Y'all out here looking bushy and wild out here. But check her out on IG. Great stuff, great work, good peoples. These your people's half. I'm doing the promo for your people's half.
Hey
What's
man,
good?
I appreciate the love, but yeah, that's my little cousin Maya. I can't really, call her little cuz because she's a grown woman doing her thing. I mean, I'm really inspired by everything she's accomplished so far. Definitely, not just because it's family, but she has great work. She's about her customer service. She's about,
Brows.
quality work, and that's how she's
Baby
spreading
hair.
the word by posting her work just like theirs. It's very nice.
Shout out to the brows and the baby hair. I'm with it. I'm with it if you with it. Let's get it.
The B and B's.
The B and B's, man. You got to be right out here in these streets. Don't be looking
So
bootleg
yeah,
out here.
respect all you by Maya. Go by there, make an appointment, get your brows snatched back. Tell her Hef sent you.
Yeah. Get your you said get your brows snatched back. You see it.
Get your brows snatched back for the wintertime. We don't need no bushy brows out here in these streets.
Hey, I'm gonna give a shout out to the homie, man, London Royce Cricket, my man Marcel Love, a black man doing a cricket themed apparel wear, which is wild, man. It's just going crazy in Europe. But you can go ahead and grab you some apparel, man, that's here. And people be asking, like, what the hell are you? Who's London Royce? Who's cricket? Don't talk anymore. Say, man, look, support black business. Because I know you don't know
That's
about
right.
cricket. Y'all don't know about cricket. If you look it up, you probably fall asleep. I watched a couple games, I've fallen asleep, but then I start watching a little more. It's all right. It ain't my cup of tea, but I'm gonna support the homie because the shirt like this is dope. The people who look at that, they don't know what it is. You look like you got on some premium gear, which it is. So shout out to the homie London
It
Royce,
looks good though, man.
LondonRoyce.com. Check him out on Facebook, London
Yeah,
Royce.
it
Like I
looks
said,
good.
black man doing this thing, getting this thing going, man. So look, black businesses for the win. We back on it. We doing what we're supposed to do, man. Hey, what's next on it? Talk about your rant, Heffalump.
All right, so again, I just had a few things caught my attention with your boy R. Kelly this past week, right?
Ah,
And I don't want to sit here like I'm gonna go and kick a man while he's down because that's definitely not my intention, right? That's not my style. I really don't enjoy sitting here talking about R. Kelly and his life. But on the flip side, I can't sit back and honestly, like, I was watching the realities podcast. Shout out to the girls, they do a wonderful job. I was checking them out around 6:30 tonight. And Ray was talking about how she still steps in the name of love and all that good, stuff. And it's all funny. But me personally, I'm not rocking with R. Kelly because at this point, I think the proof and the evidence is there. And I'm not saying it's my opinion to judge that man and what I say goes. I'm just speaking, and these are my thoughts, right? This is how I
uh-huh.
feel. I just can't support that guy because at a certain point, you got to take accountability for what you did to a large group of women, especially young black women. And to see these women, not have the protection that they deserve to protect them against this man. And unfortunately, a lot of their parents were even not necessarily behind it, but they were naive to the situation. And for those women to not have the proper protection, you can't really blame them for, taking those years of still being in defense of him and playing the games that they did to keep him free. So I just wanted to say, my rant or some of my thoughts that I had was, just be careful and supporting certain people, especially like people like him, because I think that's a real terrible situation at the end of the day.
Hey, okay. So I'm gonna go with the unpopular opinion, which is um I will still listen to R. Kelly music because my whole idea on music is this: when you hear music, music is usually associated in certain times in your life when you go through certain things or certain emotions or certain situations. And when you hear that song as you get older, that brings you back to those memories. Now, he didn't get charged with no pedophilia charges. He got charged with a rack of stuff. Um, uh, Nothing about it is good. I
And
will
I'm
say
not
that
gonna sit here
110%.
and judge each charge that he got. I'm just
No, no,
speaking
yeah,
on a
but
mass
but
opinion of
but
it.
nothing about it is good. In the same era as I will still continue to listen to Rick James, even though he hit Charlie Murphy with 5 fingers to the face. You know what I'm saying? He hit Charlie Murphy.
Oh my,
Crack cocaine. He the same way that all these other people. Um,
that's not parallel, okay?
well, look, this is what we're doing right now. We're putting levels of sin or levels of bad deeds, and placing them on certain pedestals. Well, you can do this, but you can't do this. You can do this, but you can't do that. And if you do this type of thing, then we can no longer listen to you. We can no longer advocate for whatever you did in life. You're out, right? Same way that we talk about the white folks talk about Pete Rose all the time, right? Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose should do this, do that, and the other. But Pete Rose betted on the game, right? And they don't put him in. He got charged with racketeering, sex trafficking. It sounds like pimp shit to me. That's what Arizona Ron says. I can concur with that. Um, and like you said, there were parents that were complicit during this whole process. So he's not there were people that were complicit with allowing the behavior to happen because of who he was and because of the status that he was.
But at the end of the day, like because I brought this topic up, unfortunately, in my opinion, it comes down to the victim and the identity or the average identity of his victims were common.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And the majority of them, they couldn't defend themselves. So I just think it's unfair that we still can go out here and celebrate. And I know I'm coming off like a old grumpy man right now, but honestly, like that's just my opinion about the
Hmm.
situation.
Yeah, like I said, and we're all entitled to what we enjoy, what we listen to, and so, what we put ourselves through. So if you can't listen to it and that's all you think about, I get it. 110%. I get it. Same way I look at it, same way I look at a knife, I think about Halloween. Same way I look at a kitchen knife, I think about Halloween. I just associate it with my man over there. So same way I look at a certain set of knives or some Freddy Friday 13th. I look at a hand with knives on it. I associate certain things with certain instances and situations. So I get it 110%. You know, R. Kelly's a tough subject for the black community. We so split on what we should do, what we should not to do. I just don't feel right taking I believe I can fly from all them young kids who get
All right,
inspired.
all right, then. So that'll conclude my rant on R. Kelly. Go ahead, Kay. What's in your mind?
You know what? I don't even I don't even know if I have a rant for this week, man. I don't
So
even
what
know
you
if I
think
have a rant
about?
for
So
this
what you
week.
think about the video I asked you about earlier that I
Which one?
saw? I don't know where I saw it. Somewhere on social media. If you guys weren't familiar with Omarion, the old
Ah,
R&B singer, I just thought it was kind of interesting because of the way it went down. His former best friend slash band member Lil Fizz publicly apologized to him on stage for, I guess, whatever went and transpired between him and Omarion's baby's mom. I'm just curious and just was wondering, like, where do they do this at? Like, when does this become a thing? Or is it not a thing? Is this just some random crazy shit that celebrities do?
well, first off, you got to be careful with your celebrity name because you got to live with that shit. You a
Right.
grown ass man, they calling you Lil Fizz. I feel a certain type of way. You walk into a Walmart, hey, Lil Fizz. It's just it don't fit. But secondly, you said it. Nick Cannon, Lil Fizz apologizing for publicly for messing with Omarion's ex. That in itself is some petty shit. That in itself
Mm.
It's totally uncalled for, and it's just an attention getter for one.
It's a cringe-worthy video, man, to see like your man's on stage like telling you how much I loved you and I ain't mean to do that. Like I don't think that was the time and place for that conversation. Like Arizona said, I could have never done it anyway.
He on that what was Raven Simone's dude? What was her co-star on her show that went crazy? That
Oh
was like
man.
I'm gonna be
I
like,
know who you talking about, but I can't remember his name. Oh, it was his
just
Orlando Brown,
he on some
Orlando
Orlando
Jones
Brown
or
shit.
something.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
on some Orlando Brown shit. You you in a situation where you probably high as hell and you doing something you shouldn't be doing in the public eye. But it is what it is. First, let's get to the rant then. Should you ever in any situation be dating your best friend's ex?
Mm.
Hell no. Hell no. And this is and
No, you mean your could you date your
your ex,
girl's
your
exes?
your
Say it
girl's
again.
ex. You said your best friend's ex.
Right, right, yeah,
Best
you're
friend's
right.
ex. Your best friend's ex. Hell no. Now, I'm gonna say this coming from a situation where um I'm married to one of my best friend's exes, but it
Mm.
don't count because it was so long ago. And what I mean by that is we're
Oh, what'd you
talking like
say? Say it again.
elementary school. You heard what I said.
No, I didn't. What'd you say?
I'm married to my best friend's ex, but it don't count because it was like elementary school shit. Okay?
Oh shit.
Exactly. Exactly. But if you a grown ass man and you out here dating your best friend's ex or your best friend's your ex baby mama, that's just grounds for termination, bro. You just there's no three strikes in that rule. In this work relationship or work friend relationship, nah, you don't do that. No,
Yeah, I don't
no,
see how that goes
no.
down. It doesn't even get that deep for me. Like I don't understand how you had a conversation. You know, when's the first time she comes around and he comes around in the opposite situation where it's cool? Like that's a awkward.
Because yeah, oh
Yeah,
no,
exes
K
are
Dizzle X is
exes.
the X's. Exactly, bro. Exactly. You just don't you
Mm,
know because now that puts a seed in. Well, what the hell was going on when you were around and we were
exactly.
together? And so now that just breeds an entirely different situation of trust issues going forward. You
There's no
never,
way. There's no
never,
way they can possibly go forward
no,
and not have those thoughts, man. It's just
no,
not possible.
no, you don't do it. It's a negative. So no, the mere fact that he's on stage doing that type of shit, and the fact that it happened, everything about that situation is toxic, 110%. So let's get off that rant and get off that one. So, um,
Hey, real quick, Arizona, let me know how I sound too, because you made a comment about my audio quality, and I appreciate you, bro. So let me know if I sound different. I'm on a new microphone this week. So let's slide over and talk about your boy, though, man.
oh,
The he don't believe in Eurocentric opinions and thoughts. This is kind of an old topic, but he's been popping lately, and I wanted to ask a question to the chat, and I hope we still got a lot of our women still here. What's up, Sinead? How you doing, baby? Um, what do you think about, or do you think that this is a double standard, right?
what's that?
Men who have multiple kids by multiple different women versus the opposite of women having multiple kids by multiple different men. In my opinion, I've never really seen a woman get away with that type of situation. When I say get away with without being criticized, you don't even really see or hear about a lot of women really positively in that light. But when it comes down to men, from what I've seen, and I'm gonna keep it real, like a man really doesn't get frowned upon if he's successful or if he shows he's getting that money, like he could probably afford, that type of situation. But what do you think? Is it a double standard? Is it a bad look?
Nah, ain't no double standard. It's just yeah, trifling. Straight. I mean, straight
But
up.
Nick Cannon was
There's
but
only
Nick
one way to
Cannon
put it.
said he don't believe a man should be with just one woman.
Well, that's his beliefs. And by his history, you can see that he fundamentally believes in that by having 74 children by 73 different women. Who I mean, and in turn, the women that are taken by him understand that, and they already know if you're a woman in this day and age, and you meet Nick Cannon, and he coming at you, you already know the situation. You already say, "Hey, let me get this check right quick and keep it moving." You're not going in with the ideas of matrimony or anything else like that because he's already made it clear. So if you already get involved with Nick Cannon for whatever reason, for whatever situation, you see him and he comes at you as a woman, you know what you're getting into. You're
But
there to
why
get
does it?
that check.
But why does it seem like he gets away with it though?
Well, he don't get away with it. He just do what he do. But you know what? You know why it may seem that way? Because he's open and honest about what he's doing. And you can't be mad
And
at
that
him.
takes away from people more
That
so
takes
prying
that
into it.
takes right. That deflates the entire argument against him. So you can say, "Oh, you having all these women, all these babies by different women." He'd be like, "Yeah." What you gonna say to that? Yeah,
He's smooth with it, man. Like, the
it's
dude
what it is.
definitely moves and shakes the way he wants to. And I've seen a lot of people try to do it, and he's been one of the smoothest by far.
That man got a TV show on Fox in the afternoon. I turned the TV on by accident.
Congratulations to Nick Cannon for that.
Congratulations, Nick Cannon. He always gonna find a way.
But
Mariah
on the
Carey and everything else.
but on the
Bro,
flip side, could a woman do
bro,
that though?
huh?
Could a female do that?
Could a female do that?
Could
It's
Oprah come on
tougher.
here? What would you think about Oprah if she had 5 baby daddies, but she was still Oprah?
Oof, oof. It's different. It's different because unfortunately, on the parenting side, it is lopsided. Men get away with it more than women because the woman is the one that has to take care of the child. The man only goes in and provides financial support. So it is different, hella different for the woman on that end. And it is unfair. Definitely is unfair. Now, if a woman did it on her side, she knows what she's getting into. She knows what she wants to do, she don't want to do. The woman has more control over the situation than the man does because a woman can say to make the choice to not have the child or just have the child. So they possess that power in itself. And if they decide to have that child and they know what they're doing is going to get them more children, same way, more power to them, hands down. But
I don't know. I don't think Oprah would still fly above the radar of having 5 different baby daddies just because of that double standard.
nah, she write a
You know
book
what I'm
about it.
saying?
She write a book about it. It'd be in the book club. Be a book
Gail
club,
would be
and
right there with
it'd
her.
be the secret three, how to have multiple babies and be successful, as a single woman in the in this century. She'll figure out a way to monetize it. There's no way. It's no way Oprah gets away with whatever she wants. Period. Period. I think Oprah is what Martha Stewart wanted to be.
Right.
She's what Martha Stewart wanted to be. But
Martha
yeah,
Stewart
man,
was just too hot though. She was just
she
hot
was too
about
hot with it, and I think she pissed some dudes off
it.
that did it. So, but yeah, man, let's speaking of that, how many people in the chat have watched Squid Game? Speaking of that interesting commercial that was made, how many of y'all have watched Squid Game? At least one episode. If you watched one episode of Squid Game, type 7 in the chat. I need to see that because
Well, come through and say what you thought
come
about it,
through and
because I
say
had
what you got to say
nightmares when I
about it.
watched that shit.
You at night.
That show, like for me, it was intense, man. I don't know if
Yo,
you had a chance to really watch it.
I have watched in and out probably like 6 episodes.
Yeah,
So
man. I gotta
so
say, if anybody has watched Squid Game, I'll go more into it this episode to talk about at least one or two of the scenes that got me, because it really left me like kind of looking at the TV screen like, damn, like one of those shows that when the credits hit, you like, damn.
well, see, here's the thing, and I'm so excited for the mere fact that um Asian
Well, what is
television.
it first? Tell people who haven't seen it yet, because
Okay, all right, all right.
the chat sleeping
410
on it.
hasn't
Let's put
watched
them
it.
on.
So basically they go out and they recruit a bunch of people to play in a game. And the game
Bunch of
is either
Koreans.
a bunch of Koreans. Either if you win or you die. That's the only way that the game works. And they go through different types of exercises. Most of them kids games, but different type of exercises. And people are like dying on the spot, and it's
But
crazy.
the thing about it is, all the people are people who have it really rough on the street. They're in severe debt.
Exactly,
They don't really
exactly.
have too much to live for, so they're desperate. And
Yeah.
the thing about the games, whoever's holding these secret games, they have these weird set of rules. Like you can honestly have a group vote, and if the majority wants to leave the game, they'll let them leave. And that actually
Mhm.
happened in the series. They had a group vote after one game.
You telling parts. Telling
Uh huh.
parts. Why you telling parts? You
All
telling
right.
parts of
Well,
episodes, man. Come on.
spoiler alert. Shit. It's
Spoil
it's already the whole season's on Netflix. It ain't like this.
You
You
give
gotta catch
spoiler
up.
alert after you spoil it.
But my whole point is, like I said, like the trauma behind it. Like I've never seen that many people get their head bust in one series,
Yo,
like
it's wild.
literal headshots.
It's wild. Super wild. Um, super wild. But it's good. If you get a chance, I'm like I said, I'm excited that Korean Asian television is getting a spotlight. Um, because I've been watching anime forever. I am a big anime fan, and Asian Korean television. So this type of TV I'm used to it because the shock and awe you find in all the other type of Korean or Asian or Japanese TV and film. So, but it's
Well,
really
what's good
good.
about it is like you don't even realize that they're talking off sync. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
you don't even realize that they're not even really speaking English.
So, oh, so you watch the dubbed, not the subbed.
Yeah,
Got you. Got you. I only watch the sub. Period.
yeah.
Only watch the sub because the dictation in the language makes it a whole lot better for me. The Asian
All
part
right,
is
man. You ain't gotta be
I'm
making me
getting there.
feel bad because you all got your dubs and subs and
No,
shit.
bro.
I watched the Squid
It's a
Game
whole
and that
different
shit
lifestyle.
is serious business, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
Watch
And
Squid Game, man. Go check it
yeah,
out. Watch Squid
free
Game.
promo.
Free promo for Squid Game, man. Shout out to Netflix. Pick us up. All right, so where we going in this deep dive, my man?
All right,
Deep dive.
man. So we talked about a lot of things, and we were going over a few topics that we wanted to take it a little further or expound on. And I was just thinking about like when is too much, right?
Mm,
Like a lot of us do a lot, and we have very busy lives. In today's what do you think about Kyrie not getting vaccinated? I'll get back to you on that, P, because a lot of people aren't getting vaccinated, and you're starting to become a whole different
outliers,
type of exactly. So that's a little
rogue
political,
agents.
but you know what I was talking about though before P came through with the Kyrie question of the night is when it's too much. Like it could be anything. It
Mhm.
doesn't have to always be the typical vices or the addictions, but when do you talk too much? When are you just doing too much? When it comes to whatever your significant other doesn't want you to do, when are you doing too much of that? When is it time to get out of your old ways?
Mm.
Like so, let's throw it out there to the gang and everybody that follows us every night. Like, what would you say you do too much of? Let's just be
Ooh,
honest.
ooh, 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 ooh,
What would
ooh.
you say, K Dizzle, you would have to cut back in your life? It could be anything that you think you just do too much of.
Fuck.
And if you took it back, you would find ways to make your life better because doing too much of it is a detriment, but you still do it.
Work.
Work's the easy answer, bro. Work's the number one answer, Alex.
you already know. You already know. Fucking work. Um. All
But
right.
now, like if you had to really like look in the mirror and say, like, what do I do too much of? Some people might say, look, I might drink too much in a week. Or, I
Mhm.
might be on social media too much and I can't, do what I gotta do. Like what are some of your things that you wish you can cut back on?
Fuck. I mean that because you already know. I for those that don't, I have two full-time jobs. I
Okay.
have three full-time entrepreneurship businesses, a podcast, and I'm doing way too much. I think like I said, work is the thing I will pull back on and try to put that time into other things like family, sleep,
What
and
about
family, sleep, and yeah, yeah, family and sleep. It's kind of like it's funny that we talk about when it's too much, and y'all see me sipping on this Mountain Dew, right? One thing you don't realize is, and I said this to him earlier, like I found these are the toddler size Mountain Dews. If you see a normal can won't fit between your hands like that. You got
Yeah,
usually
K
got to go
Dizzle
like that.
hands are not that small.
So,
It's the
so
can.
fuck you. So, um, these are just enough to piss you off, right? Just enough to say, "Damn, I want some more." But sometimes this should be all that you need in order for you to get by in the taste that you're trying to desire. Sometimes we as Americans do too much, eat too much. Our portions are always oversized because we're excessive in all that we do.
That makes me think about that time they said like you can close your eyes and eat until you're full, and you'll be
Yeah,
surprised at how much is left on your plate, right?
yeah, yeah, absolutely, 110%. I think, like I said, my thing is, what is too much, too much, and that's truthfully. If I'm looking at everything right now, what I'm doing is work. Um, you have some people that don't have control over their tongue, that like to that like to push buttons or talk too much, or say certain things, or say too much in a situation, and they don't realize that that could be the end all and the cause all to a lot of relationships, a lot of friendships that they have. um, I think there are some people, my wife is one of those, who give of themselves too much.
Mm.
They 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 expend themselves out to help too many people too much, and don't leave any room for themselves to just be, or
See,
just
I
here, or
didn't
do
know you
some things for yourself.
take mine, man. I didn't know your wife had something in common with me along that
Yes,
regard.
yes. You got to be able to understand to say no to certain things in certain times. You can't always be there for everybody. You can't always do things for everybody.
It's a great
So,
point.
and I'm looking at myself right now too, because you asked me the question is, um, when I say work, I mean narrow the things that I am doing. Maybe I need to cut some things out, do maybe three things instead of five. Maybe I need to do two things instead of three, just so that I can be more effective in the things that I am doing, so I don't give it is. See, there
Mm.
it is, Erica. There, my issue is taking on other people's problems and trying to solve them.
And that's what
And
I'm glad that she went there, Kate. Not to cut you off again, but I'm glad that Erica was honest about it. And that's kind of why I wanted to throw the topic out there tonight. Like we talk about being honest and being open about things. Like before you go deeper, Kate, because I kind of wanted to touch on it too. Like I tend to believe I care too much.
hmm
And I care way too much about what other people think. And I can honestly say that, a lot of people have a superhero power, in my opinion, of not giving a fuck.
yes,
And to me, like that's a power because to not really worry about what you're doing and how other people think of you can be very strong when it comes to
mhm,
being a creative, when it
right,
comes to wanting to do things on your own. Because a lot of people, if you take other people's opinions too serious before you even get halfway to taking the first step to your dream, it
hmm
can be shut down because of that.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
And
People,
caring too much about other people's feelings are just like it's something that I honestly want to do less of.
yeah. And Ron said doing better isn't always going hard. Sometimes about finding balance. But you
Absolutely.
got to remember what doing better means to you. How do you define doing better? Do you define that based on someone else and where they are, or do you find that based on where you are now versus where you're trying to go?
But let me answer your question with a question because you say you've been feeling like you work too much. Are you doing this for a specific goal? Are you scheduling all this for like what are you scheduling all this for? Not to
It's
put you
all
on
for it.
blast.
No, no, no. I thank you. It's all for a specific goal. Um, um, I'm working towards a certain level of freedom. You know what I'm saying? So I'm putting my effort and energy into multiple things that can create not only that can create passive income, so which will allow me to do other things that I enjoy, such as this podcast, such as my music, the things that fulfill me spiritually, versus having to report and do things and give my time for a certain amount of money. That way it'll allow me to do the things that'll provide me with better fulfillment. So
So
um
you feel like you have to do all that at one time?
I feel like that I have to do the necessary now in order to get there later. You know what I'm saying? Financial freedom is the goal, not just financial freedom, but um, time freedom is the goal, if you get what I'm saying. So if we can set it up to a certain point, which will free up my time to allow me to do the other things, the more important things, which is build stronger relationships and be more present, then yes, that's what I feel like I need to do now in order to get where I need to go. Now, if it requires me to continue down this path for another year, 2 years, 3 years, and it gives me 15 years of freedom, then it's 110,000% worth it. Like Snake said, you need to make money in your sleep. That's that
But do
passive
you
income.
have to? But do you have to have financial freedom to achieve your ultimate peace of mind?
Financial freedom won't give me peace of mind. Okay, more money, more problems. Financial freedom won't give me peace of mind. It will put me on the path to peace of mind. The peace of mind comes when you're doing the things that you're loving every day without fail, no exception. Am I doing some? I'm doing things I like. I'm not doing the things that I love. If I can put more time into the things that I love, then I'll be a lot better. I'll feel a lot better than the same.
But see,
So,
that's what I think about every day, and it's interesting because you work a lot of hours, and we talk about how many hours we both work, and it takes away from doing the things that ultimately we want to do. So we do all this now to basically set us up in our minds to have more time to do it later, right? To do
yep,
what we want to do later.
yep.
But the scary dark side of that is you never know if you're going to get to that point to where you're going to have all that time to bask in from all the effort you put out.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the balance that I think Arizona was talking about.
Yeah, but
Because go ahead.
yeah, no, go ahead. But we don't know what. Here's the funny thing about that, because you said that's the scary part. What if
Because you're
we don't?
essentially saying you're busting your ass right now
Yep.
because essentially you can,
Hmm.
because you're capable of it. While
Hmm.
right now you can to have the fruits of your labor later, correct?
Hmm. Correct.
And that's the point. Like I would pray and hope that everything you do works out for the best and for everybody else that does that, include myself, because that's why we work 12 hours.
Right.
I don't think that we would go work a 60-hour work week if we thought that this was the last time we would have an opportunity to do something with our lives. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? If somebody told you you have 48 hours to live, I doubt you're going to punch the clock for 24.
no, fuck that. I wouldn't punch you for 48.
So when is work too much?
When is work too much? When is it too much?
It's deep, right? That's a good topic. And that's why I'm
Well,
glad we're talking about it.
yeah. When is it? When is it too much? It's too much when it starts affecting your health.
Every
Maybe you
time
need.
me and you talk on the phone, we're at work.
Yeah, we're either at work or on
Personally,
the way to work.
right?
I'm either, I'm leaving one job, going to another job. We're either at work or leaving or on the way to another job. So one of the things that you said that kind of touched me was, having the fear of whether or not it'll pan out, or we'll have the time later on. Yeah, when it's all you think about,
All
when
day.
it starts really affecting your health, or when it's all you think about,
When you bring it
sometimes
home.
you got to pause and take a step back. Now, I do work a lot, but there are times when I'm at work and like, you know what, I need to leave now and go to sleep, or I need to rest. Or there have been some days where I say, you know what, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just staying home. I'm staying, or I'm taking the kids out, or we're going to do something as a family. Where you have to take that mental rest and take your time out and get your life back centered. Um, but the thing you said, like I want to get back to it, is the fear of whether or not it'll pan out, or will make it to the fruits of your labor. You have to be able to learn how to, like you said, you got to learn that fuck it bone in your body, because
Mhm.
the truth of the matter is, if you really want to break it down reduce it to the ridiculous, is we don't know if we're going to wake up tomorrow. So for me to take that approach and worry about what may or may not ever happen, may or may not ever happen, would be absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous to me, because it may or may not ever happen. So the only thing I can do is to keep doing what I believe I need to do, and for me to get there. Now, there was a very, 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 very terrible movie with Will Smith and his son. Who remembers the name of that movie where they got it was after I think it was After Earth
I Am
where
Legend or
him
After Earth?
huh
Was it
no
I
no
Am
no no no
Legend or
it was
After Earth?
it was him and his son Will Smith and Jaden Smith. It was just
Hmm.
him them two in the whole freaking movie.
It
What was
was
the
it
name of the
was
movie?
I Am Legend.
No, that wasn't I Am Legend. That was Will Smith by himself. Will Smith and Jaden Smith.
All
I
right,
think it was
After
After
Earth.
Earth. Okay. So in After Earth, right, there is a line in After Earth. Please go look this YouTube clip up. Okay. Yes, they lived in the forest.
That's After
Please
Earth.
go look this YouTube clip up. Okay. Where Will Smith breaks down fear. Um, and he says, fear is not real. It's the imagination of things that may or may not ever happen. So for you to believe, for you to have fear is is almost the definition of insanity. You
You know,
gotta
it's
go
funny
look
you
at.
say that because Shanae tells me the story about Will Smith off of what you just said, right? Really quick.
Uh-huh.
He had talked about a real life situation of him, I think, leading up to like going to go skydiving for the first time
Mm-hmm.
or bungee jumping. And he said that in his real life, he was like, the whole fear that he experienced was what he thought about leading up to the actual bungee
Yep.
jump,
Yep.
you
So
know? So that's deep, man.
let me read this quote. Please let me read this quote and listen to every word that I am telling you. If I don't do nothing else in this life, sweet baby Jesus, if you take this quote and internalize it, it will change your life. It says, fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It is the product of our imagination, causing us to fear things that do not at present and may not ever exist. That is near insanity. Near insanity. I mean, bars. What you talk about, Eric? It's bars.
Yeah, but if you want to take it further, bro, I mean, that's just reality in general. It's what you
It's
project.
bars, man. I look go skydiving once in your life, 110%.
You heard what I
I
said,
have
though?
plans to do it. Go skydiving. It will change the aspect of how you look at life on a molecular level. But I know we talk about we getting way off topic. When is too much too much? I didn't even get to ask you that question. Now, when is too much too much?
Man, like I said, once you start realizing that you are being totally driven away from your purpose, and that's what I think we always have to look within ourselves to figure out is like, what is our purpose of being here? Why do we get up and do what we do every day, right?
Hmm.
And when that too much is taken away from your purpose or what fulfills you, like you said earlier, I think that's when it's too much. Whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Because at that point, what you want to focus on and what you're supposed to be doing with your life and your time, you're no longer doing it and you're off your path
Mm,
because you're doing too much of the bullshit or too much of what's just taking you or to turn you away from, like I said, your purpose.
mm,
And ultimately, I think that in hindsight of being 35 and what I've gone through, I think that the more happier that I am is when I'm working on things that I believe is for my purpose. I don't like
absolutely.
my time to be driven away from what I want to do for too long because I start to feel like I'm being robbed. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? So that's my bar. I might not be spitting too hard tonight, but
no, that's more than enough. I think some of y'all think too much. When it's
yeah,
too much, too much. Some of y'all think
I
way
definitely
too
think
much.
too much.
You overthink situations. You overthink choices. We usually when the crutch is when you have a choice, you begin to think about the possibilities versus making the decision. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You start thinking about the possibilities of what if it fails or what if it doesn't work, right?
I mean, it gets to a point to where it's like, so what? Like I told you that me and you were putting together, not like me and you talked about putting together like another Rap City type version of a show,
Hmm.
right? And you and I talk about ideas all the time. And you woke me up to it's like a text message with Big Tigger, saying that he was coming
Yep.
back with Rap City, and I start laughing and I say, man, I don't give a fuck,
Because it's in the atmosphere. The idea for it was back
you
in
know.
the atmosphere, which means it's a positivity to it.
But here's the thing,
It's
though, bro. It's like, so what? Like, even if I fail or we fail at doing something, or if this podcast doesn't necessarily quite take off like we plan to. Like, it's all in the journey. You know what I'm saying? It's all in the experience, man. In my opinion.
It you got to remember too that we didn't start this for us to be a massive huge hit. We started it because we knew it was something that we wanted to do, something that we love to do, and we've been fortunate enough to have the same six people come every week,
Yeah, I love it. I
every week.
appreciate it.
And you know what? Truthful for me, that is enough. That is more than enough. That just means that, hey, maybe I'm doing something right, and if whatever knowledge, information, and talk conversation that we're having, if it helps somebody along the way, and if they take that and they go to work and have those conversations that we're having, it goes to somebody else, that we know that we're doing what we're supposed to do, and all we gotta do is keep following that path and doing it. But um another part of when too much is, how do you know when too much is too much? Quality over quantity. When too much is too much. Woo, Lord. We're
Or
saying thank you.
what do you do
Talking.
when you know it's too much, okay? And you got to look at yourself and say, "Look, I know I'm doing this too much." Cuz I've had that moment too, like from a personal standpoint, I've like, said, "You know what? I got to stop doing this."
Hmm.
You know? And it can be anything, man, but you know it. Like the
Hmm.
best person who knows you is you,
Right.
in my opinion. So like, what do you do when you know you're doing too much of that vice or whatever it is that's deterring you from, being successful or being the best husband or the best wife or the best father or the best mother?
Hey,
What's up?
Roland. Hey,
What's up, Miss Rona? But
what
what do you do, Kay?
um,
What are the first steps, man? At all of us in this chat and all of us who are watching tonight
right,
can say they have had that moment to where they said, you know what, I gotta cut that back.
right. Well, whatever you're doing, when you know too much, too much. The first thing is acknowledging it and accepting that it's too much, whatever that it is that you're doing. The second part of it is um, understanding what triggers that when you're going too far. What
That's a
triggers
good
for
point.
you to move too far into that realm or whatever it may be. And the third part is replacing it with something else, meaning like meaning like if you know that you're in an argument, right? You talking with your significant other, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, whatever, and you feel yourself going down that aisle with using something to trigger them that you know is going to send them off the
Right?
deep end. Replacing that with something, with either walking away or saying, you know what, I need to stop, or doing something else that moves you from that aspect. Everything when we talk about our what we do is falls into the category of a habit, and that's part of the habit loop. If you look up Charles Duhigg, he'll tell you the cue, the routine, and reward. We all do things um,
We're all creatures of
unconsciously.
habit.
We're all creatures of a habit. We do things unconsciously. We put our leg in. We put our right leg or our left leg in first. We don't know why. We just do it because it's habit. Um, and our emotions and our reactions and our the things that we do on a regular basis are all built on that. And the first thing to do is acknowledging it, um, understanding what triggers it, and figuring out how to replace it with something else. Um, and that's how you combat doing too much. And you also got to be careful too, because there are people that acknowledge it, understand it, and embrace it. And those people are usually very toxic because they figure, all right, this is who I am, this is who I plan to be.
That's a good
And
point
they
too.
just have that innate ability to just be as toxic as they want to and don't care because they accept it, whatever it is, as a truth for them to unbreakable truth for it to be who they are. And so you got to be wary of that as well. But knowing yourself, if you know, the better you know yourself, the better off you are at being a better person, figuring out how to be a better person, and also a better person to the people that are around you. So um,
You just got to be able to identify. And I think, like you said, being able to make a decision because at a certain point, you know yourself best. And when you're doing something to that regard, that's going to take you, down a bad path or a direction. Like, you just got to keep it real. Like, sometimes the crazy part that you touched on that shocked me was how you said some people become content with it.
mhm,
And that's the flip side to it. Like, there's a level of people who want to improve and do better, but then
mhm,
there's still that that level of people that if you fall for it, they're gonna trick you to go right back down with them again. So
Yep.
you got to be careful. I think that was an excellent point that you brought up.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta watch out from the people. Every time we get into a conversation, we get to a really deep conversation. It always people, if you don't recognize it, always goes back to looking in the mirror and looking inward. Because you got to understand, nothing happens to you without you making a decision first. Nothing. Everything is about how you react to what happens around you, and based on that reaction, based on that what you do after it happens, I'm telling you, it's like a domino effect. It's a huge domino effect. Somebody spits, prime example, somebody spits in your face, right? Somebody spits in your face. If you punch them and knock them the hell out, and it's on camera, right? It's on camera. You have lost your job. You're getting locked up, blah, blah, blah. Because 9 times out of 10, people didn't catch the spit in the face. But if you somebody spits in your face and you walk away, right? And nothing else happens after that, it just happened and you moved on with your life. You understand what I'm saying? Do you get that?
Now you lost me a little bit in the end.
See, because first thing you say is somebody spit in my face, they disrespecting me, they getting their ass knocked out. Point blank. Right? That's the easiest way I can break it down to you.
But that's
Yeah.
like, my parallel to it before we go. It's like
come on, Al. Come on, Al.
it's
'Cause
like,
I know you
look,
want to knock him out.
every day I show up 5 minutes late, right? Every day I show up 5 minutes late. Fuck that job, right? Every day I say I'm gonna get there when I get there. But look, I tell myself I want to be on time, right? I gotta open the store. But that's funny. But I still take the same path in the morning, no matter how long it takes to do whatever my steps are to get ready, right? I still leave the door, get in the car, and drive into that traffic up the same, ramp on the same highway and sit in the same pattern to arrive 5 minutes late. When all I'm saying is it comes to a certain point when I gotta look at myself in the mirror and say, look, I gotta stop this. I gotta stop this. I gotta break the cycle. And that's what we're talking about, guys and girls. And everybody that shows us love, and I appreciate you. And I love Purcell for talking about punching dents in cars. That's an inside joke. But you gotta break the cycle, man. You can't always give your hands and feet, Erica. And that's what K does. What he wanted to pull me into tonight. And you can't always do that. And like you can't always punch dents in cars. And you can't always say, fuck all your responsibilities. And sometimes you got to change and break the cycle and wake up a little earlier to get your ass to work on time. Or sometimes you got to put that drink down and go home to your girl and do what you got to do at home because you about to get your ass put out. You understand what I'm saying?
If you spit on me, I'm a
I
black
told
out.
you, man, you was waiting for that.
You spit the fuck on me if you want. I'm firing myself because
I told you I can't follow that one, K. I'm sorry.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That is exactly what I'm talking about because the decision, I broke it down and made it that simple because that's the easiest thing that can trigger you and take you to the left lane. It's the easiest thing. Now, let me give you a flip to that, right?
Yeah, but that's a tough one, okay?
I know, but let me give you a flip to that. Say that person that spits on you, right?
Otherwise,
they spit on you, right? They spit on you, and you take the avenue of talking so much shit that they swing on you, right? You talk so much shit that they end up swinging on you. Now you have the legal right to beat the shit out of them, and you win in that argument, hands down. Am I right or wrong?
I don't know, man.
See, it's all about the choices you make.
It is. Now I'm down to be serious though. Like I'm not gonna leave you on a limb.
It becomes self-defense at that point. I know. Look, it was so brash. It was so harsh. I'm thinking about just the mere thought of somebody spitting on you, disrespecting you, throwing their bodily fluids on you. Yeah, it just tosses you. You see. Look, mom going ham.
But that's to the point. Like if a person does that to you though, like they don't have any regard for your decision that you're gonna make. Like they
they
don't care. They're jeopardizing your life and theirs at that point.
they know they exactly, and they have the full control over the situation because they already know what you're going to do when that happens. They've already won in that instance. They have already beat you. Whatever if because if you make that decision, they have already won no matter what.
Well,
No
I'll,
matter
I'll
what.
concur that that's probably one of the toughest situations to break the cycle in, especially with the chat because they're definitely firing off. But man, episode 32 was good, man. It was fun. It was another deep topic that's a suicide attack, right?
That's jumping off the ledge.
It's something else that gets your brain working. It's when it's too much, right? And
Mhm.
like we said, look at yourself in the mirror. But yeah, man, we appreciate you as always. K Does, you gotta get some rest, bro. You can't be out here working all these damn hours. I need you.
Look, we're here. We're always here. We're going to be on Facebook. We're going to be on YouTube. We're going to be on IG. We're going to be everywhere. We will be here. It's never too.
Spotify, iTunes.
We will do what we got to do to get where we need to go. We still taking some more videos for this all dressed up podcast at gmail.com.
That
Tell us why
commercial
you
is
love
coming.
what we do and why you tune in every week without fail, no exceptions. We
The
appreciate you. We
commercial
love
is
you.
coming.
It's coming.
It's still gonna be
been,
here.
it's been 2 weeks, but it's coming. The mouth is the dirtiest part of the body. Keep them fluids. I have triggered y'all.
Man,
I'm
we got
telling
my
you.
Dukes fired up over here in the chat. That's what I'm talking about. Miss Rona came
Yeah,
through
triggered.
live and direct.
Triggered. Woo! I'm telling you, man. That's somebody
Nah, but
spit on you, man. Change your life.
highlight us though on all the platforms. Give us some topics, man. Also hit me up on Instagram and hit K Dizzle up and let us know what you guys want us to talk about live. We're everywhere. We're enjoying this trip. Episode 33 next week.
Episode 33. Larry Bird. You ain't got
Oh,
no
that's
bird.
ended on a high note.
We gonna have to find players for each episode on and popping. Forgot about that secret clearance.
She's still going. Oh shit.
That secret clearance going out the door after that spit go.
Right.
Spit fly, boy. You gotta look at YouTube for how many fights start with spit flying at the other person. They just
Man, I don't know. Once you
lose
brought spit
because of
up,
the
I
action.
blacked out, man. I can't.
Exactly. See what I'm talking about? Exactly. Maybe
Like, my
one day I will
contacts already bothering me. I can't
look.
think of spit.
Look, if we get back to this conversation, I will share a serious situation that happened in real life that was life. It was like a life and death situation. I had to make a decision on the fly. I probably, you know what? I'm gonna tell it next week. I'm gonna put the cliffhanger there. I'm gonna tell it next week, and it's damn near
You gotta
just as
tell it. You
bad as
already said
somebody
it, so you
spitting
gotta
in your
tell it
face.
next week.
Yeah, it's damn near just as bad as somebody spitting in your face. And I'll share that. I'll spare that knowledge with y'all. But yeah, what you got to go out, man? I love y'all. What you got?
Nah, man. Like I said, episode 32 in the books. It's been real, man. Been really consistent. Look at Erica saying, "Tell us
Nope.
now."
Nope.
We gotta save that for the next time, the next show, episode 33. We appreciate everybody that comes through and supports. Like K Dizzle said, it's probably a little bit more than 6 now, but it doesn't matter to us. Like if it was just 3 of you guys, we appreciate you very much. We spend about an hour and a half with you guys each and every week. We talk about things that a lot of
We
us
love
think
it.
about at home, right? And sometimes we want to be able to have a platform to be able to address some of these things. So always come through and chop it up with us. We got big things coming. And thank you again.
Thank you again. We love y'all. And come on anytime, man. We not only is this a platform for us, but we provide a platform for you guys to come in and share your feelings, thoughts, and emotions. And we all need an outlet. We all need to be expressed some of the things that are on our minds and on our brains. And we all got to have a place where it's safe. It's a safe space. Y'all crazy, but we love y'all. Rona,
And
be
before
on
you
time
go,
next
I
time.
don't want to hear about the I missed the episode excuse on Wednesday because, like I told my last friend that told me that we're recorded. We still are recorded. You can check us out on Spotify, on iTunes. When you're cooking your breakfast, when you're cooking your grits, just turn it on. Just play it over in the corner on your Amazon Echo. We still sound the same and we still talk our shit.
We love y'all, man. We out. Peace.
And and I know. They know, cause we know, we go all in, you know. I know, they know, cause we know, we go all